Good luck.
Merhaba arkadaşlar, hepiniz IEFT Talks webinarlarına hoş geldiniz. Bugün Almanya'da uluslararası kariyer planlarınız için Baden-Württemberg'den Hay ve SRH University'den Stephanie ve Doruk Bey'den sunumlarını dinliyor olacağız. Lütfen sorularınızı questions kısmından sormayı unutmayın. Yes, Hay, the stage is yours now.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon from Baden-Württemberg in Germany. I am Haisun from Baden-Württemberg International, and we are a state agency for cooperations between universities and companies in the world. And we provide information on, for example, studying in Baden-Württemberg. And today, I will introduce you the situation in Baden-Württemberg, on how to study here in Baden-Württemberg, and my colleagues from the SRH University Heidelberg will introduce you the requirement and other details on study programs of their university in Heidelberg. So Baden-Württemberg is a name, but many of you cannot pronounce it. Just see the film. So I think many of you, like the people from the world, maybe you cannot pronounce it, but you can spell it, and you can see the history and the nowadays universities of the Baden-Württemberg with the tradition and the history now. Baden-Württemberg is a state in Germany, and we are in the southwest of Germany. And here is the home of about 11 million people. And among these peoples, there are different nationalities of 180 different nationalities. And we are a very strong economic sectors, such as the mechanical engineering, which you know that we have the mobility and the automobile industry, and the electronical engineering, information and communication, or health and care industry. They are very famous in Baden-Württemberg. And companies you can see on the screen, maybe you can see some companies that's very familiar with you in the world: Daimler, IBM, the headquarters in Europe, or Heidelberg, Drucker, or Bosch, and other famous companies. So the first autos was invented in Baden-Württemberg, and Albert Einstein and many other great scientists are from Baden-Württemberg. So why, if you choose a place for your study in a foreign country, why in Germany? And why in Germany in the state of Baden-Württemberg? Because we have many universities and research institutes in our state. There are 9 research universities and 21 universities of applied sciences. So today, the SRH University Heidelberg is one of the universities of applied sciences. in our state. And we have 11 universities of music and arts, and we have 6 universities of education, and we have also Baden-Württemberg State University with size at 9 science and 3 companies in the whole state. About the study programs, we have about 3,300 programs now, and among them, there are 170 in 100% in English, and about 450 in English and German, with a mixture. So among the 9 universities, the research universities, there are 4 University of Excellence. So you know that in Germany, there are totally 11 universities of excellence, and we have 4 in Baden-Württemberg. They are Heidelberg, Tübingen, Konstanz, and Karlsruhe University. So if you want to study in our state, you must know how to apply. There are some steps. The first step is to find out how you like to learn and to choose a university that suits you. So if you want to study the theory and want to do the research job, you can choose a university of research. And if you want to have a study with project-based, and you can choose University of Applied Science with today's SRH University of Heidelberg. And if you want to very close to the industry, and you can choose the Cooperative State University, the so-called DHBW. So, and if you are one who want to make music or to draw something, the University of Arts and Music are the choice of you. And we have also universities of education who will build the teachers for primary and middle schools, for example. The research universities, University of Applied Sciences, Baden-Württemberg Cooperative State University, DHBW, or the University of Arts and Music and Universities of Education are the main universities in our state. The first step is to find a university, and the second step is to find out about the university's requirements, because each university can have different requirements from the others. And the third step is to find out the administrative requirements. So until which time you should apply for what kind of study programs, for example. And if you study in Baden-Württemberg, we have some kinds of funding programs for young academics. So you must know that the living cost in Baden-Württemberg for a student from abroad is about 700 to 900 euro per month. And for students from the non-EU countries, you must pay a tuition fee for 1,500 per semester. And if you want to apply for a funding program, the 3 websites on the bottom of the screen, you can write down and you can check the details there. So they are Career Start BV or DAAD. This is another possibility, and so are the following. And in Baden-Württemberg, we have the BVS, or the Baden-Württemberg Stipendium, and where you can apply for monthly 700 to 1,400 funding per month for your study in Baden-Württemberg. And for your PhD or postdoc, you get more. So the step 4 and also, the most important one, as you saw in the film, that is to enjoy your studying and your living in Baden-Württemberg, your new home. So now I will give the words to two of my colleagues from the University of SRH University Heidelberg, Stephanie and Doruk, who will introduce you the details of the study programs and the requirements of their university. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hai, for the wonderful introduction. Thank you to everyone at Baden-Württemberg International for inviting us today and for a warm introduction. And of course, I can't forget the colleagues at IEFT Talks. So, my colleague, Professor Dr. Doruk Özdemir, and I are here to talk to you about studying at our university. We are a University of Applied Sciences, as Hai had explained to you. So what that means is we really focus on your career prospects as well as industry connections. That's how a University of Applied Sciences might be a little different from a traditional university, is that focus on careers. So I'd like to bring Professor Dr. Özdemir here to briefly introduce himself.
Yeah, thank you, Shafi. Yes, I'm coming from Middle East Technical University from Ankara. Actually, I did my bachelor's and master's there for mechanical engineering. After that, I did my PhD, my doctoral studies at University of Stuttgart, also in Baden-Württemberg. And then after that, I worked at the industry 3 years. And then since 2016, I'm at the University of SRH as a professor for mechanical engineering, for industrial engineering. And right now, I'm Dean of Studies for International Business and Engineering. This is a master course that I will also talk a little bit about it later on. Yes, this is first all about me.
And I'm Stephanie Farrar. I work in the international office. I am an alumna of our International Business Bachelor program at the university. So, if you were listening to the Baden-Württemberg International presentation, you know that Heidelberg is a great place to study, but also to focus on engineering and business, which we both have a background in. I saw in the chat that they're saying you can ask your questions. Absolutely. And if you want more details about engineering and business in Germany, you've got Doruk and I here. So, taking a closer look at our beautiful campus, we're one of the oldest and largest private universities in Germany. We've got around 3,500 students, with around 700 of them being international. For those of you who are quick at math, you'll see that's around 20%. And I believe as of October 2021, we're around 63, 64 nationalities on our campus. Our campus is really cool because the classrooms are completely movable. In many of the classrooms around the campus, you can move the furniture, the tables, the chairs, and some you can even move the walls. We have it this way to really promote learning. If you have to do collaborative group work, or if you need a private space, you can have that flexibility. And of course, we do have our campus completely set up for students to, right now, who are here, safely attend classes. We're located on the river and around 15 minutes from the city center, around 10 minutes from the train station. So actually our location is really, really good. You can see the blue on the screen in the top right-hand corner. If you hop on your bicycle, you can get to the city center in 15 minutes. And really, Heidelberg is a place you can access the entire city by bicycle in about 20 minutes, and students do take advantage of this option. You can also get a semester ticket, which is a discount student ticket, so you can travel the entire region. I think it comes to around 26 euros a month, and it comes with a lot of perks too. So on our campus here, you can see that we are set up more like an American campus. We have everything you need to live and learn all in one place. You've got your classrooms. We have a cafeteria, a coffee bar, a library that's accessible 24 hours a day with learning classrooms and project spaces for students, and also a sports center. One unique thing about our campus is that we offer on-campus accommodation, which is really popular with international students. I have across this at any other university so far that I've seen, having it on the campus. So this is something you might want to consider when you're coming so far away, especially right now, that we would be able to offer you that extra support since you would be living on the campus with us. So the programs we're offering at the university are all in English, what you see here on the screen. Of course, we do have additional programs in German if you are around a C1 level of German. So for bachelor students, we do have international business. That would be my program. And at the master level, we offer programs in the areas of computer science, architecture, engineering, business, as well as therapy sciences. So we are a university of applied sciences, as well as a private university, as I said. So we do charge tuition fees. I know that we have a few students I can see who have just joined. So you missed the presentation before where it was explained that the tuition in Baden-Württemberg, Germany, is around 1,500 per semester. So you can see that our prices are quite competitive. It is a little more, but that comes with additional benefits for you. Firstly, lots of internationalization opportunities. We do have dual degree opportunities where you have a degree from us and a partner university if you're a student in the business programs. And also, we do focus a lot on career preparation, and we offer additional workshops and additional networking opportunities for you.
Yeah, that would be good for me now to talk about the studying characteristics of by us at SRH. So we call it core competence-oriented research and education, our model. And this model is derived from Scandinavian countries, teaching models, and right now the whole university in Heidelberg, all the departments are using this model. That has some characteristics. As you see, the one very striking one is that we are having 5 weeks blocks. What does that mean? So you need to think like this. The whole year is divided in 8 different blocks. Each of them consists of 5 weeks. And in those 5 weeks, you are learning just 1 or 2 topics, 1 or 2 subjects, and you do them very much in detail and very much in depth. And after that 5-week time, you would have your examination. This could be a written exam, or this could be a project work, this could be a presentation. And we are also differentiating our examination types. I will talk about them. And then if you are successful on that subject, then you can go to the next block. And this is, I guess, very unique for our university. This allows you to concentrate on 1 or 2 subjects at one time. This is always good. And this allows me as a professor that I can give you challenging projects that I know you are not having anything to do except for this course. And at the end, you are having the examination times are distributed among the years. So otherwise, in a standard university, you will have at the end of the semester, like 2 weeks time where you will have maybe 8 exams on the same time. So that would be a very stressful time as maybe you already know it, maybe you already you are maybe already a bachelor student, or you are already finished your bachelor degree and you know how difficult that final time is. So we want to get rid of that. We want you to learn calmly but surely, And so this is one of the most important characteristics for us. Connecting to, or according to that, our groups are small, and as Steffi said, that our lecture rooms are actually very flexible. So at one point I can stop just telling something, but I can give a small task to students and they can form their small groups and to work interactively. Sure, I will be there still in the class. I will be there for all the questions, but the work will be done by you, so you will understand that much better than if I would just tell about it. So that is the idea. Also here, additional to that one, we are having open door policies, so it is very easy to contact your professor. With the online times in the last 2.5 years, it's even more easier to get in touch with your professors. And as we already mentioned several times, we are applied universities, so we are valuing practical teaching a lot, and we are having a global network of our players in the area. And Steffi, if you can go to the second one, the next slide, I would like to talk about examination types and also the possibility with the teaching and learning method. Yes, so here you see our core model, competence-oriented research and education. This is also aligned with our examinations. What I mean by that, we think that the examination type should match the competences that you need to have after that course. What do I mean? Let's give a very basic example, very standard example of having a project management course. If you need to just finish a course named project management, at the end of the course, I could have an examination, maybe a written examination. So what would happen? A good student will learn by heart and would get the best grade. But the problem is, I'm not knowing if that student can really manage a project. Actually, to be honest, the student is not knowing as well. So our idea is, if you need to manage a project at the end, you need to get a project from us, you need to manage that really, and you need to show that to us. So that is the basic idea here. Which does not mean that we are against written exams. A written exam makes sense if we are having, for example, a mathematics class. Why? Because at the end of that class, let's say you want to be an engineer, and at the end of that class, you need to show me that you can deal with the equations. So your competence is that you can solve those equations, which means that I can best see that if you can do it by a written exam. So basically, what I want to try to say is we are just trying to pick the best examination form for each and every lecture and trying to make that aligned. So this is very important for us. And additional to that, with our industrial context, so I can give one additional example for that. 2 years ago, just before Corona crisis, we were having a collaboration with Daimler, Mercedes-Benz, so to say, and one of my research topics is electric mobility, and they were also interested in some topics. So we said that, okay, I will offer an elective course, and I will cover the theory part of that subject, electric mobility. But the students must do at the end a project, and the project task was coming from Daimler. So they were having a specific problem that time, and they give this one as a project task to students. So students, and we did it in 6-7 groups, each of them were having 3 people, and the students needed to answer that or give answers to that problem. And at the end, Daimler got 7 answers for the same problem, because the students were competing for the same question. And so that was very good for Daimler, because they were getting different answers, different viewpoints for the same problem, and students were working on a real industrial project. And even at the end, Daimler said that the best student or students will get a master thesis by them. So in Germany, it is also very common that you can do your master thesis or bachelor thesis at a company to get more practical knowledge. So that was a very nice win-win-win situation for all of us. So that is one of the examples how we can do or how we can go with our teaching methods. Yes, Steffi, maybe you can go to the next one. Yeah, and this is one example from our School of Engineering and Architecture, which I'm in. So here you will see that designing and developing technical solutions. Sure, this is very important part, but not only them, but you will also get experiences beyond that. You would also learn how to present. You will also learn how to act in a group, work, and further. And most importantly is the getting prepared for the business life. So you would know you would have all the necessary competences that would make you successful in your business life. So this is the idea, just in this case, given as an example from my faculty. Yes. Steffi, with that, I can give the word to you, I guess.
Yes, thank you. Sorry about that. I was trying to keep the questions for you guys. It's great to see that you guys have so many questions, but we'll come back to those in a little bit. Support during your studies. Like I said, we are a private university, so we do try to give you additional benefits. And being a university of applied sciences, we want to prepare you for your future career. So we do things like with your soft skills, things like our International Cultural Club, where you can meet students from around the world. Free language courses. We can offer you German language courses if you want to stay in Germany like I did. After your studies, you're going to want around a B2 level of German for most places to work. And that is completely if you start your German classes alongside your studies as soon as you start in a year and a half, 2 years, or for the bachelor students, 3 years, a B2 level is completely possible. If you're a student with an idea to start your own company, or you just want to get involved with local companies that students are founding, you can take part in our Gründe Institute, which is our business startup incubator. In addition, we do have an entire office that's devoted to career preparations called our Career Advisory Center. They can do things like interview training. If you've never had a job before, maybe you'd want to do some practice. We can check your CV because CVs vary by country. Sometimes they vary by industry. So we can check and give you some tips. As our student, you also get access to our student job portal. And in addition to that, you can really tailor your studies and enhance your skill set with our general studies. These are additional free courses that you can take. Depending on your program, you might get a certification letter. Even if you don't, you can always put it on your CV. We do things communication-wise. If you want to know about intercultural communication skills, presentation skills, debating, you can take courses in that, or basic digital skills. People like me who might not be the strongest tech people, they'll give you a little bit of background information on basic skills, like if you do a presentation, you might want to know a little bit more about PowerPoint. We have a PowerPoint course, a Word course, an Excel course. But in addition to that, we do things like LinkedIn, which is huge in Germany. So you can take a free LinkedIn course to learn all the tools and tricks at your disposal to make yourself the most marketable candidate on the job market. So it really is unique, and you can really tailor your studies and ask us for the skills that you want, and we can find somebody to help you. entrance criteria. I did have a student who was asking about the English. You can see the different tests we accept on the screen here. The normal tests like the IELTS, the TOEFL, the Pearson English test. But of course, with COVID and testing centers and limitations, we are accepting the Duolingo certificate. And for students who have attended maybe an IB school in English or in German, if you're going to a German school even, we can accept what's called a medium of instruction letter. If you show your entire 4 years of high school or your entire bachelor program was in English, we can take that as well and waive the need for your test. Students who have really high grades can definitely apply in their last semester. You might get a conditional offer if your grades are likely to stay above the German 2.5 standard. Otherwise, yes, you could submit your application and we would just then wait for you to deliver your final grades and basically expedite your application. For the bachelor students who I was talking to in the questions here, we do have to make sure you have entrance to a German university, and this depends on which test you're taking and what your score is. I tried to nail down a specific set of scores and have them by test ready for you guys, but I saw that it was extremely complicated. You have a very complicated system from my standpoint. So what I would like to offer to you is that we can individually check it. Our admissions team would be happy to do that for you and give you some feedback. If you're a student with an IB diploma, or maybe you did a dual study with the US or the UK, then you guys can also apply with us as well if you meet certain conditions. Finally, if you're applying for a master program, you do have to meet specific criteria to apply. As Hai was saying earlier, each university and each program has specific requirements, and I agree with him. The biggest thing that's going to benefit you is to check every program and every university that you're interested in and read the requirements very, very carefully to make sure that you meet the requirements before you apply. That'll save you guys a lot of time and headache. Next is the admission process. I did have a few people asking about when they can apply, what the deadline is. At our university, we don't specifically have an application deadline, but we know that you guys do have to apply for a student visa, which takes time. So my suggestion is, if you're quick with the admission process with us and you're checking your email to make sure that your application's ready, if you're setting your interview quickly and getting back to Doruk sometimes interviews for his faculty or any of the other faculties, and get your acceptance letter, pay your tuition fees very quickly. I think this can be doable in as little as 3 weeks, but you do have to stay on top of it. So I would say the 3 weeks, and then in addition, I would say a couple of weeks for the visa. My suggestion is, if you want to apply for October, 15th of July. If you want to apply for the April semester, then I would say the 15th of January is a good deadline for you. Big question everyone always has is funding. We do have a section on our homepage all about financing your studies. You can find information about scholarships. We offer them for academics, financial need, social engagement, or if you have any special requirements that's going to cause you to take on extra costs to complete your studies, such as being a parent or a caregiver, or having any sort of a physical disability, there are scholarships to support you there too, so we can meet the needs of everyone on our campus. We have information about loans if that's something you're interested in. And of course, I wouldn't be a good international office colleague if I didn't tell you guys that we try to support every single student with a study abroad, a thesis abroad, or an internship abroad during their studies. At least the thesis is available to every student to study abroad, and there is funding. So please see us on our page for the international office if you want to know more about abroad or dual degree opportunities with the business programs. Finally, Outside of our university, there is the DAAD. This is the German Academic Exchange Service, and they offer not only a lot of information, but scholarships there. I'm a 2-time winner of scholarships from there, so I can say that it is worth your time to check early and check often, even during your study program. You never know what you might qualify for. And I know this was a lot of information for you guys, and I do see that we do have a lot of questions on here. Thank you so much for the engagement and for the questions. So I wanted to see if maybe we wanted to answer some of these questions out loud, or how would we like to do this?
I would say so, yes.
Yeah. So the first one that was on here, I might have to defer to Professor Dr. Özdemir. It's one of the very first ones down at the bottom by Hilal. Unfortunately, my Turkish isn't at the level where I'd be able to read it. I can see university and Germany in there, but that's the extent of my German. Sorry, Turkish. Apologies.
Yes. Yes. Bir devlet üniversitesinde okumak istiyorsanız tabii ki bu durumda biz doğru bir yer değiliz. Biz üniversitemiz özel bir üniversite olduğu üzere. İngilizce okumak için size DAAD'nin sayfasını öneririm. DAAD'nin ana sayfasına girdiğinizde Almanya'da konunuzu seçip, dili seçip önünüze bütün mümkün olan sonuçlar gelecektir. Oradan artık hani hangisi kendinize uygunsa, hangi şehir, hangi üniversite sizin için ilginçse ondan o şekilde aramanıza devam edebilirsiniz diye düşünüyorum. There is another question from Merve Yılmaz. Do we have to pass university entrance exam in Turkey for bachelor degree application? Bunu da size cevaplayayım. Türkiye'de, Almanya'da okumak istediğiniz üniversiteyle aynı bölümü Türkiye'de kazanmanız gerekiyor. Herhangi bir bölümü, herhangi bir üniversitenin aynı bölümünü Türkiye'de kazanmanız gerekiyor. Ve Almanca bilginizle beraber, Almancanız yoksa İngilizce belgenizle beraber üniversiteye başvurmanız gerekiyor. Ama burada da dediğim gibi her üniversitenin kendi Türkiye'deki gibi bir merkezi sistem olmadığı için her üniversitenin kendi seçimi. O yüzden her üniversitenin kendi belirlediği şeyler var. Bizimkileri demin gördünüz. Bu anlamda zannederim size yardımcı olabildim. Olamadıysam tekrar yazarsınız. Next one, Nursena Bağcı. 2 degree options. Faculty, okay, that you just answered. I saw it. Computer engineering study English. Yeah, computer engineering. Maybe I will say something here. Türkiye'deki bilgisayar mühendisliğinin direkt karşılığı Almanya'da ne yazık ki yok. Bu biraz da Amerikan bir terim anladığım kadarıyla. Burada yani o konudan gelmememe rağmen, makine mühendisi olmama rağmen daha çok burada ya informatik bölümleri var ya da elektronik mühendisliğinin biraz daha işte bu bölüme kayan bölümleri var. Yani bizim üniversitede, yani bizim fakültede Master of Information Technology diye bir bölüm var. Bu elektronik mühendisliğin yapacağı bir master. Ama şöyle düşünebilirsiniz, yani elektronik mühendisliğinin informatiğe çok yakın olduğu bir alan diye düşünebilirsiniz. Ya da işe informatik tarafından bakmak istiyorsanız informatik bölümünün direkt şeyleri var ama oradaki alacağınız title sonunda mühendislik title olmayacaktır. Bizim fakültede alacağınız mühendislik title olacaktır. İşin ilginç tarafı Almanya'da benim bildiğim kadar hiçbir yerde bilgisayar mühendisliği diye bir kavram yok. Ya informatikçiler var ya da elektronik mühendisliğinin işte biraz daha information teknolojiye yaklaşmış taraflar var. İkisinden birini seçmek gerekiyor eğer bunu Almanya'da yapmak istiyorsanız. Yes, the next one is the Heidelberg University. Not that you confuse them. There's one Heidelberg University and we are SRH University Heidelberg. I guess that can be confused, sure. But there are two different ones. The Heidelberg University, they are research university, and we are applied University of Applied Sciences. But it makes sense that you confuse them. That's okay.
Yeah, I think we even get at least one student every semester ends up showing up at the Heidelberg University campus and then calls our office asking where we are. I don't see the nice blue tower that you see behind Dr. Özdemir. I can't find it. Oh, did you go to Heidelberg University or SRH University Heidelberg?
Yes.
We all usually in a coffee after.
Yes. Steffi, you answered this one as well. I guess deadline for September, language requirement, you, I guess, also answered that one. Question accepted for IT master program, yes. For the PhD question, I need to say that it makes a bit more sense to do your PhD if you want to do it at a research university rather than University of Applied Sciences. So, which means that we are not, in the first instance, your best contact partner. There is I guess, a law right now which will allow also applied universities to give PhDs, but this is still not valid, so we need to wait for that. So for you, it makes more sense to go one of the research universities.
And I did also want to maybe just share one last time, because I did get a couple of questions while you're looking for the next one to answer, of course, Doruk.
Yes.
Was asking about other bachelor programs we have.
Yes.
At this time, we do only have in English the International Business Bachelor program. And this is a question I think that comes up quite a bit. It's just because for international students to come to Baden-Württemberg to study, it is a really, really difficult process. As I said, it's hard for us to answer for high school students exactly what tests and exactly what scores they need. It's very complex. We're happy to look at it on an individual basis with you, but that's why we only offer the one at this time. We do offer a number of German, and for the master's programs, I saw people were looking for like the computer engineering and the, bioinformation, a few others on here. I'm happy that Hai was answering some of those questions because the only ones we're offering in English are the ones that you see here on the screen with us. And finally, answer Serkan, but I did want to make sure everyone saw his answer because he's got 13 years of work experience and really wants to know, what does my GPA need to be to go to a master's program? We look for around a 2.5 to enter any of our programs. There is one little special one that is our International Business and Engineering program. If you're going to apply for that one, you must have a 2.5 or higher. For the other programs, we want around a 2.5, and we'll consider things like Serkan's work experience and other certificates or things that he has. So keep in mind, International Business and Engineering, it is a 2.5 cutoff. The other programs, you've got a little bit of wiggle room.
Yeah, by the way, we need to say that in Germany it's the other way around. 1.0 is the best grade and 4.0 is the worst. So exactly opposite than what you would have in Turkey. So not that you are surprised about those numbers. Yes, but 2.5, as it is at the middle, it is almost the same as 2.5 in Turkey would be roughly 2.5 in Germany. Yes. Then the next one, what I say is again a PhD student, business administration. So again, here I would refer to the AAD website, and there, this is anyhow how I find that time my PhD supervisor in Germany. So I look at each and like the whole list there, and then just get into each and every university that I wanted to go to, and then check their faculties, and then find the correct contact persons, which was not easy, but yeah, that is definitely a way. Next question is with the medicine faculty. University of Heidelberg would have one, obviously a very famous one, but not we are having it. Yeah, I guess you are trying to answer that one, Steffi. Yes. So
I'm learning how to use the back office there.
Yes. So you need to go to University of Heidelberg then for a medicine. Yes. Is there anything that we did not answer, Steffi? Yeah, one.
I think between the three of us, because I see that Hai's been quietly working in the background. Thank you so much. I think everyone has got their question answered, but if you asked in the chat and not in the questions box, we might not have gotten it. So this is your time. If we haven't answered your question, head over to the questions box and we can take them. So
There's one for you.
Oh. Yeah, I think Serkan, you might have missed this one because I did answer it just a second ago, but just to highlight, for all of our programs, we're looking around, what was it, the exact opposite. If it was a 2.5 for Germany, what would that be for Turkey, Doruk?
This is also very similar to 2.5 because we are between, but we need to be better than 2.5 roughly in Turkish system. So I guess this is the right conversion, but yeah.
Yeah, around the 2.5 for most programs. For the international business and engineering, you have to have a 2.5 or higher. It's the minimum we accept. But I remember, Serkan, you were asking about business programs and that you've got work experience. That's okay then if you're a little below a 2.5, we'll accept some of your work experience or certifications for that program.
Exactly. And this is also very important for us because we want to be a personal university. We are a personal university, so you are not just a grade for us, but we will just have an interview with you and then see your situation, see your motivation. That is very important for us, yes.
That was actually something that Doruk and I, we were talking about it the other day, and how important the interview process is, not only for you, but also from our side. We really want to make sure that you're aware of all the benefits that we can offer you, and make sure that we're going to help you get the job that you want in the future and that we align with your goals. So my advice when you go to an interview, especially in a foreign country, I had to do it. It's very daunting and it's probably not in your native language. Just keep that in mind, that we're just curious that we're a good fit together. It's, not to put any pressure on you, and it's not to make you sweat. It's really to make sure that you know all of the opportunities with us and that we're the right fit for you. So keep that in mind.
Yes. Steffi, I saw now a question in the chat box, not in the question box. So one person is asking about psychology department. So can you give there some, just a general, they would like to get a general information about psychology department?
So for the psychology department, because it's one of the German programs, I can't go too into detail. Most of my work is with the English programs, but we do have a psychology faculty at the university offering, I believe, 4 different focuses when it comes to psychology, so that you can focus with them on, I believe one of them is, for example, health, another one is business. But what I can do for you then is I can drop it into the chat. It is going to be in German language, but you can take a look at it. And if you want to know more, I'm going to have a colleague send a follow-up email, or you're welcome just to write us. We can give you some personal advice on the specific program that you want to study.
Okay. By the way, Steffi, I saw that somebody is saying that it would be better for them to talk in Turkish. So I will just try to answer that one in Turkish. Tıp fakültesi var mı diye sormuştunuz. Tıp fakültesi bizim üniversitemizde yok. Yalnız dediğim gibi Heidelberg Üniversitesi'nde var. O da hatta çok da meşhur bir üniversitedir Almanya'da. Oraya başvurabilirsiniz. Bizim üniversitemizde tıp yok. Ne yazık ki. Evet, Mert Bey, sizin de sorunuz psikoloji bölümüyle ilgili soruyu demin açıklamaya çalıştık. Almanca olduğu için bilemiyorum, Almancanız var mı? Almancanız varsa tabii ki bu konuda konuşabiliriz. Psikoloji bölümü bizde sadece Almanca açıldığı için şu ana kadar sanırım çok fazla sizin için ilginç olmayacaktır. Bilemiyorum, Almancanız varsa C1 seviyesinde tabii ki o başka bir şey, o zaman size daha çok bilgi vermeye çalışabilirim. Bu arada Almanca sayfasını Steffi şu anda chat'in içine koymuş. Hangi üniversitelerde psikoloji var diye sordunuz. Tahmin ettiğim kadar İngilizcesini soruyorsunuz. Bunu dediğim gibi DAAD'nin sayfasından araştırmanızı rica edeceğim. daad.de sayfasına girerseniz orada aradığınız bölüm hangi şehirde olacağını seçmek istiyor musunuz? Bütün Almanya mı? İşte hangi dilde olacağını, her şeyini seçebiliyorsunuz ve size Almanya'da açılan bütün bölümlerin, bütün fakültelerin hepsinin listesi olduğu için orayı önereceğim size. En iyi kaynak olacaktır. C1 genel olarak Almanca seviyesi olarak C1 ya da B2 istenir. Almanca seviyesi olarak, İngilizce'de de benzer ama dediğim gibi burada da yine her bölümün, her üniversitenin kendi kararı bu. O anlamda genel olarak C1 diyebilirim ama istisnalar olabilir. O yüzden yine istediğiniz ama B2'nin aşağısında olmayacağı kesin. Çünkü sonuçta bütün eğitiminizi Almanca alacaksınız. Yani ya B2 ya C1 ama bu değişebilir üniversiteye göre ya da bölümden bölüme göre. Onu yine dediğim gibi merkezi bir sistem olmadığı için her üniversitenin her bölümüne tekrar ayrıca bakmanız gerekecek. Yes.
So I think almost all the questions answered.
Yes, it looks like that. Oh, now
okay.
We're having one more.
Okay.
Oh.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, in this case, I would say the Dean of Studies will decide. But if you would apply to my university or to my program, I would consider the last one actually. This is the most recent one, the most interesting one for me. But it can be like for another Dean of Study, he could say that no, bachelor is the most important thing for me. I don't know. So that is the situation. So even in our university, each Dean of Study will decide. Sure, there are general guidelines, but Dean of Studies, they will decide if you are eligible to be in that group, in that program or not. So in your case, that I will apply. I will write a nice cover letter to explain those points and just obviously highlight your strengths, and then I guess that will be okay. And they wanted to have contact information, Steffi.
Yes.
We can provide that definitely.
Just a moment. Okay, so I'm going to give the contact information for my colleague in the admission office who oversees the international students.
Yes, and I can write my email. if you are interested in engineering courses, you can contact me.
And one last thing I'm going to type in there for you guys is, this is our homepage. And of course, I want to invite you guys to take a look at it. But there's also a section on the landing page. When you click on it, there's a section that's called Unibuddy. Unibuddy.
Yeah,
that's an opportunity for you to chat with a student in the course that you're interested in, so you can get some peer-to-peer advice too. Sorry, Dork, did you want to add? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's fine. I want to say that Unibuddy is a very nice opportunity for you, that you get direct information from current students there, and like they will be like a small mentoring to you. They will maybe share their own experiences, which difficulties they had coming being international in the beginning, all the documents, and then all those work that you need to do. That is a very great help that we organize in our university, so that it is a bit more easier for you to do that step.
And I also wanted to ask if Hai wouldn't mind adding maybe the YouTube link for the video that you shared at the beginning. I saw that video a few months ago and I loved it. I started sharing that with everyone, but I couldn't find it right now in my account when I was answering the questions. But I think the students would really enjoy that one. It's a great commercial.
Yes.
Yes, so thank you very much for all of you to sharing your experiences and information, and it was a great presentation. You covered all of the questions. Thank you for your answers too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sinan.
Thank you so much for having us.
And also I would like to thank the participants in Turkish as well. Katıldığınız için teşekkür ederiz arkadaşlar. Almanya ile ilgili planlarınız için chat kısmında paylaşılmış olan mail adreslerinden Hai, Stephanie ve Doruk Bey'e ulaşabilirsiniz. Umarız sizin için de faydalı bir webinar olmuştur. Aynı zamanda sizi alttaki webinarımıza da davet etmek isteriz. Thank you very much again, you guys. It was a pleasure to have you in IEFT Talks.
Bye.
See you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you. Danke.
Thank you.
Teşekkürler. See you next time.
Teşekkürler. Bye bye.
Take care. Bye bye.